welcome to another interesting segment on Home Treat Nigeria. So today I'd like to talk on this topic. Your Nigerian man's sister might be his wife or partner. So let us talk about this topic because sometimes this is a thing happening and a lot of people just want to sweep it under the carpet, while in actual sense, it's a serious topic. It's a serious topic because there are a lot of women who are actual victims of faith. Now, one thing a lot of you need to notice when dating Nigerian men, or a lot of you have noticed when dating Nigerian men, is the fact that a lot introduce you to the family, which is a good thing, especially when it's done in the right and proper way. And this introduction includes you meeting the parents, the siblings, the nibblings, close relatives, and also in laws. So the question is, why do Nigerian men always want you to meet their families when they are dating you? Well, first thing is family approval. Meeting the family and you getting to know them helps to show that you've been approved by the family, and also trust, which is also very important to take the relationship to the next phase. So, if your relationship with your Nigerian man gets to the point where the family gets involved, you would feel more trust, and this would enhance the commitment level in that relationship, which is good, but also can be fake, which is why I've stated in numerous videos that sometimes the introduction of family is good. At the same time, it could actually be fake. Now, having said this, if you, in whatever situation, you find yourself suspecting a lady that has been introduced to you in the family during the course of the introduction as his sister, a cousin, in law, or even close family friends, and you very much is suspicious that you don't think this is the lady because for whatever reason you're starting to suspect that something is wrong, and every time you try to talk to your Nigerian man, he dismisses it. And because he dismisses it, you yourself, you dismiss it. But then again, it comes to you because you just can't help but feel confused because there are certain abnormalities you are seeing, which is in your time not proper, and you're finding these abnormalities online, mostly from comments on the page of the lady, that you think is so inappropriate for siblings to make amongst themselves, and this has got you worried and confused. Well, one thing you need to know about Nigerian men is this: sometimes Nigerian men may be very careless with words and certain things. A lot may find offensive and inappropriate, especially when you're dealing with siblings. For instance, not every Nigerian man who calls a lady babe has a romantic relationship with her. Uh, a statement like babe or see this babe, sometimes it could also mean see this girl. Maybe you're just referring to as girl or lady. So some Nigerian men use this without actually having any romantic relationship with a lady. The same thing with symbols like heart emoji or love emojis. Some in some society it is translated as having some kind of romantic relationship, but for some Nigerian men it is not the case. It is just the easiest way to communicate how they feel, to this lady who happens to be the sister or relative. So, if a Nigerian man likes what he sees from the relative or sibling, he could use a heart emoji or a love emoji. Not that he actually has romantic interest on this lady. So sometimes this happens, and Nigerian men use this without actually having anything to do with this lady. So I can understand if from your society it's no. So having said this, it becomes important to understand that a lot of Nigerian men who use certain terms of endearment for their relative and siblings, they do this not because they have some kind of romantic attachment to this lady. For them, it's just the closest thing available to express their likeness for whatever thing they are saying to their sibling. Now, if you're seeing this on the page of the sibling, the sister, the cousin, the in-law, it's still not enough for you to dismiss it. It's very important for you to find out, okay, Why is he using this? It's important for you to point it out. It's important for you to point it out. And if you still feel suspicious, it's important for you to get to the root of things to know who this lady is, especially considering the fact that he has introduced this lady to you as his siblings. Now, giving you a thinking and trying to figure out if this lady he uses this romantic gestures and symbols for that has been introduced to you as the sibling or relative or in-law. Given the fact that you're thinking about it, it's important to find out if this lady is actually the sister or the partner. It's important for you to unravel this mystery because it actually happens. There are Nigerian men who get married to you, they divorce you, and that person who you think is the sister or sibling turns out to be the wife. So, how then do you make sure that this person is actually the sister and not just someone else who has romantic involvement or interest with your Nigerian man? Well, the first thing you want to do is to demand for childhood picture. You need to first demand for the childhood picture of the both of them. Picture they both took as kids. Most of you have pictures you took with your siblings as kids. Ask him for one. Pictures like, oh, I want to see pictures you took as kids, you and your sister. Like your childhood when you're growing up as kids. If you find yourself in a situation where he couldn't give you picture or they took as kids, maybe because they didn't take one because of whatever circumstances. Maybe he was raised by an uncle or aunt, they were not raised in the same under the same roof, which basically can happen. Well, you can let that slide. The next thing you will want to do is to demand for a baby picture she, the sister or the relative, took with his parents or her parents. So then you can ask for this picture to see. I mean, most parents want to take pictures with their kids, especially at that infant stage. So ask for this picture and make sure the picture is one she, if the lady is the sister, took with her parents, who happens also to be his parents. Make sure there's a correlation with the parent he has introduced you to with the one you've seen on the picture. Even if the parents are late, I mean, he still has pictures of his late parents. Make sure there's consistency uh, with resemblance. So, given that, if he also can't provide this, well, the next thing you want to do is, okay, I mean, it could happen that maybe she didn't take picture with the parents because they were poor, things were hard, and it didn't like cross their mind to take pictures. Okay, you could leave that and now ask for pictures they took years back. When I'm talking about pictures they took years back, I'm talking of maybe pictures they took in high school or pictures taken 15, 20 years ago, 10 years ago, depending on the age of this man and his sister. Picture he took growing up with him and his sister. Maybe they took it in an event with family picture or something. Ask for this. Well, if you find yourself in a position whereby at the end of the day he can't produce pictures, because again, like I said, they grew up separately, and because they grew up separately, they were separated by seas and ocean, and they couldn't take these pictures. Okay, you could like, okay, just cut him some slack on that, and then you might demand for uh, a copy of a high school or date of birth or Nigerian passport. Now, this time you would ask for a copy of a high school certificate or a copy of her primary school leaving certificate, certificate from grade 6. You want to ask for this. Now, why are you asking for this? You ask for this to check for consistency with name. If it's the sister, they should have the same last name, surname. You should ask for this to see if the surname or the name actually tallies. The same thing with the date of birth certificate. And also try to find out if the name of the parents on the date of birth certificate is something that is similar with the name of the parents is given. And also you can ask for the data page of her international passport if she has any. Ask for this and see if he can give you answers to this. If he doesn't give you answers to this or refuses to produce this or he's taking time, to produce these things you've asked for, then of course I'll be very worried. I'll be deeply worried. And if I were you and I'm worried, I will not proceed with that relationship. I will not proceed to get married to him. If you've married him, I will not proceed with the visa process. I will put it on a pause until my doubt is cleared. Now, what if she is the in-law? I mean, there are some who, if they've introduced this lady like, oh, this is my in-law. She's the wife of my brother. But for whatever reason, you're suspecting because they are very close. Well, the truth is, it can happen. There are situations where brother-in-law is very close to the spouse. Maybe the guy is just very close to the wife of the brother. It happens without actually having romantic attachment. It happens. Now, if you still have a lot of doubts because of the closeness and it's giving you sleepless nights and you're wondering, what if that is not the wife of the brother? What if there's something involved between both of them? Well, it's okay to hold on to your doubt. One thing you want to do is to ask him to produce picture of the wedding between his brother and the lady. Ask him, okay, can I see the wedding picture between your brother and this sister-in-law of yours? Demand for this picture of their wedding. I mean, when you get married, you take pictures. Ask for this. Make sure you see it. Now, if he doesn't give you proof or show you picture because it's like, oh, you didn't see any, or it's far, or he's waiting for them to get it, it's not in their house and stuff, it's okay, it's fine. But what I would do is, if you plan on getting married to him, I would not proceed with that marriage. If you're filing for visa or anything that pertains to him coming to meet you, I will put it on a pause, on a halt, because something hideous is happening. I would not go on with it. And lastly, the last thing you want to do is to follow this lady, whatever lady is introduced you to. Make sure you're following her on Facebook. That's the last thing you want to do. Facebook, social media, whatever social media platform she uses, make sure you follow her. This is very helpful because sometimes social media exposes. You get to see how things were in the past. You may see certain things in the past, and this could draw your suspicion, and you could connect the dots. Because there are a lot of them who, have a lot of things on social media that they think you may not see, but because of your curiosity and because of God being so gracious and kind, it could lead you to that, and this secret is unraveled. So it's very important for you to know. Make sure you're following her on social media, whatever social media platform she is. Follow her. Now, why am I making this video? A lot of you will ask. Well, the truth is, a lot of these scammers who need you to travel out of Nigeria to come to your country, or for financial support, a lot of them have partners. A lot of them have partners. A lot of them are not single, and I'm telling you this for a fact. A lot of them are not single. In fact, some of them are multi how do you call it, multi dating, dating multiple women at the same time. And one thing is that so many of them do this to you. They come to you while having a serious partner, and then they introduce that serious partner to you as the sister in law or relative, because the truth of the matter is they want to be in a situation where their main relationship, which is with the Nigerian lady, doesn't suffer while they are with you. Why do they do this? Well, the first thing is they do this to dismiss fear. They do this to make the lady understand, look, I'm with this foreign lady because I want her to help me travel. I don't have money to go and study, so I want to use her to travel. I want to use her to better our lives. So don't be scared. You are following her on social media. You can see everything. I'm not doing anything bad. Also, to show or to pay allegiance to her, to show their loyalty to the lady. Like, listen, it's you I want, not her. Just, I'm introducing you so you can see things. And lastly, to carry her along. So they take her in on this journey to know how the whole thing is progressing, from him marrying you, and then how long it's going to take for him to move to come to your country, how long it's going to take before he leaves you and then comes to marry you. So she is in the process all the way. So it's very, very important to know why they do this. Now, a lot of you will show, you know, concern about this. Like, okay, you have this lady, something is suspicious about her, but you can't just wrap your head around it because you discover that your Nigerian man, everyone in his family, they're dark. And this sister of his is very light skin. Or you can't find any resemblance between this your Nigerian man and this sister with other members of his family. And you're thinking, and the moment you find yourself in this situation and other things you've seen, and you need clarity so you don't, jump, irrationally and make irrational decisions, you can write me on home36 at gmail.com. We can look at the situation like I do with other women almost every day. We can look at it and see if the lady is actually his sister or his secret woman. So, guys, as always, like, share, subscribe, and writing me is for free. I do not charge any money. Home to Nigeria. Peace out.